Alright, hello everyone, I am Godrekefalcer, and welcome to Surreal News. Normally this takes place on Minecraft, but I've been having issues with Minecraft lately. And so, I am just going to Witcher 3. I just got this game yesterday, and I've already put many hours into it, and it's actually a big part of what we have to talk about today. This game coming out was kind of the biggest deal as of late in gaming news, and it looks great. I mean, the game looks fantastic. Honestly, the combat's a little rough. It doesn't play that well, but I'm not going to completely talk about this game the whole time because I probably will make a short video on a tutorial on how to start the game. I am actually in the second area right now, and I have completely completed the first area. And I've actually gotten the best steel and the best silver sword that you can get in this specific game right now. Up to this point, I haven't got very far in the storyline. I've probably spent 6 or 7 hours playing, and I got through basically all the side quests and all that kind of stuff. But let's start out this week talking about Game of Thrones, the first, or not the first, the fourth episode of the Game of Thrones Telltale series is coming out this week. It will be very, very soon. No, not this week. I think it's next week. It may be soon in the week, though. In less than a week is what I meant. It'll be coming out. And I've actually been watching people play that. I know PewDiePie plays it. Cryotic also plays them. I usually watch Cryotic play. And normally I don't like Telltale games. But honestly, I really like the Game of Thrones series. And I want to see how the game develops. And so I'm looking forward to that. That'll be very soon. I'm also going to try to keep this episode relatively short, because I don't want to ruin too many things about this game to start out with. And it looks like I have some bandits here, and they are way too high level for me. That is a level 16. I am a level 5, so I need to retreat for now. You see the red skull on the enemy just now. That means he way out levels me, and I probably shouldn't fight him. Now, it doesn't mean you can't kill them. It just means if they hit you, most likely you'll take about half damage. I think at the beginning of the game I got killed instantly by a warg that was level 5 and I was level 1, and it was just a single bite and he got me. The dodging in this game is pretty iffy. Alright, so let's talk about, I think I'm safe in this spot for a couple seconds, and just look at that view. It's just gorgeous. And I'm not playing with myself down here. I actually have an Xbox controller. I just don't want it up here in your faces. What else do we have? Need for Speed is actually coming out with a game. Now, the most recent Need for Speed movies I haven't really watched. I haven't really been into. The original ones I liked a whole lot. And after the loss of one of their main characters, I don't think they're going to make any more. But they are making a new game. And I used to love these old Need for Speed games because they were kind of an open world. And you could go around and do races, but you could also just like run over people and try out different vehicles, go like 140 miles an hour with like 6 NOS boosts on the highway. Really cool. So open world game going to come out with that. I don't remember what that was called. Something about night, something like that. So feel free to look around for that. They have just brought up HellRaid. If you haven't heard of HellRaid, I haven't really either. HellRaid is a game where you fight in hell against hell creatures. And it's kind of exactly like Skyrim in a fashion. It's going to be first person, swinging your weapon around kind of thing. There was also another Magic game that I played that was kind of like that. I don't think it was a Magic the Gathering video game, but it might have been, and I remember it almost being exactly. It was called The Dark Messiah. That's what it was. Magic the Dark Messiah. If you haven't heard of that game, check it out. Great. Kind of old at this point, but it was brilliant. The graphics were fantastic when it came out. It's going to play exactly like that. And it's by the creators of Dying Light, so you know it's going to be graphically satisfying and neat in that fashion. What else do we got? Evil Within's getting a new DLC. I haven't really kept up with Evil Within. I don't own the game myself. Looked pretty good when it came out, but honestly, I haven't heard very good things about it. It's very straightforward. There's not a lot of free roam side to it, and you need some free roam substance to that. You can actually see the sun going down. Time does pass up in the top corner there. You can see what time it is. And you can meditate a certain amount of time. It's kind of like the wait feature in Skyrim in this game, where you can stop for a certain amount of time. But after you meditate, your potions restore, your bombs restore, your health restores, but only on the 2 easiest difficulties. On the 2 hardest difficulties, your vitality does not come back. Your vitality is your health, basically. And then back to Evil Within. Now, I really do like the zombie games, kind of the Resident Evil side of things, and the guns and the different upgrades and things, but it just didn't review very well, so I never got to play that. I might try it out eventually when it goes on a Steam sale and whatever. What else do we have? Game of Thrones Episode 4 next week. More DLCs coming out. Civ. I love the Civilization games. Way into Civ 5. I never got Civilization Beyond Earth. That never happened. I haven't heard good things about that either. Of course, all the Civ games when they come out are kind of bulky and they're not optimized, and so once they do that, everything gets much better. But yeah, apparently they're having an expansion, something to do with the oceans kind of thing. I didn't look into that because there's not a lot of information right now, and I don't own the game, but feel free to check that out. For some reason, there is a live Batman Arkham Knight trailer, live action, so you have real people, and so that's kind of neat to check out. I honestly didn't like it. The music didn't seem to fit for me, and the gameplay looked exactly like every other Batman game ever made, which, I mean, they kind of are a lot alike. They're kind of the Assassin's Creed, where you have the same kind of substance, but then the story changes. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I'll let you know more as I know more about that game. So let's keep wandering around here, and I'll keep talking. So, in the world of online, Heroes of the Storm, I have recently played that. That is World of Warcraft's new game. Basically Dota 2, League of Legends-esque kind of MOBA game. And honestly, I thought it was really good. It had a lot of substance, it had a lot of chance. The graphics were kind of crappy and the lag was extreme, but they felt like they needed to go forward with the game. And they did. It is now in open beta, so feel free to check that out. I think for now it is free. I think it's going to be another MOBA where the game itself is free, but everything else is really expensive. So if you want extra characters, you have to pay for it, that kind of thing. What else do we have? Not a whole lot this week, to be honest. A couple new DLC games coming out that I wasn't overly interested in, and I didn't hear much about. So the combat's interesting in this game, but dodging is kind of crap and blocking is kind of horrible at the moment. And that's kind of weird. They ragdoll pretty hardcore. And in this game, if you've ever played one of these Witcher games, you fight the monsters with your silver sword and everything else with your steel sword. Because these guys are drowners, they're a monster, and you fight them with the silver sword. And then you just collect everything. See, I just cleared an area of monsters, and so people will come in and basically fix up this little settlement. And then you'll get vendors. And there'll be people here. So that's kind of neat. And it looks like I opened a little ship, so maybe it's a fast travel ability. I don't know. And I opened a new marker for a hidden treasure map. Right now I'm using my Witcher senses, which you're going to use a lot in this game. And those little sounds right there indicate enemies. And then if anything glows yellow like that, you can collect it, and if it's red, you normally have to examine it, and it basically like gives you hints, and you can track things and do that kind of thing. The last thing I wanted to talk about today was the Wii U is actually getting, don't Don't Starve. What am I talking about? So Don't Starve off of Steam. I'm sure everybody's seen that by now. It's a cute little two-dimensional game where you go around, collect resources, and try to survive a certain amount of time. And I don't really know the in-game about that. I'm sure there is an in-game, but I know you slowly get different mechanical objects, and your life slowly improves, basically. But you can't stay in the dark. There's creatures in the dark, and you just have to survive through different elements, winters, fight things off, clear your territory, and survive in your little camp. And that's coming to the Wii U, so I think that should be pretty interesting in, yeah, in that kind of sense. I did see that some zombie game, H1Z1, is now letting people come back into the game. They apparently kicked a lot of hackers, and apparently if you just apologize, they will accept that and bring you back into the game. World of Warcraft is interesting too. Apparently bots have almost completely stopped after their massive ban last week I talked about. So that's good, I guess, but of course they're just losing people because they're constantly losing people. I've always liked World of Warcraft personally. It's just grown so old. Now, I have been playing lately on a little private server where you can play up to the Wrath of Lich King expansion, which is really cool. I started playing it and I didn't realize how difficult World of Warcraft used to be. They have just overly optimized it and made it so easy that it's not really worth playing anymore. And they're just throwing daily quests at you like crazy, so you have to stick around. And the good thing about the private servers is it's free. So you can play on there, it's free. You can buy mounts and things from their website, but they don't demand that you pay a monthly fee, which is fantastic. That's called a Dalaran WoW. Just look it up. Interesting server. You have to download the full game up to a specific patch, which is kind of difficult to do. But if it's up, then you can download it straight from the client. And that's really all I wanted to talk about today. Not a lot going on, to be honest. I did see some new things, new games. Nothing that overly interested me or I felt that needed to be announced. There's a lot of games they're saying, oh, it'll be out eventually. And you just kind of shrug and you're like, alright, I'll look forward to it. But you can't really do a whole lot with it at this point. Anyway, I think that's where I'm going to have to end it today. I'm going to continue playing... what is it? Life is Strange. I'm going to continue playing episode 2 of Life is Strange. I've almost finished that already, and then I'll move right into episode 3, so feel free to check that out. I'm going to do a little bit of a Witcher playthrough. I'm not going to play the whole game because this game takes hours, and it's more of a Twitch thing. I may do a Twitch live stream. We'll find out if anybody's interested in that, of just me playing this game. And, yeah. And that's where I'm going to have to end it for now. Check out a Witcher 3 intro video. I'm going to keep all the scenes in the beginning and do a little starting out introduction to the game if you want to check that out later on. And naturally, I will see all of you in the next video or next week. Feel free to come back and check out Surreal News again every Thursday. Not always in Minecraft, I guess, but we tried. So... there's that. And Witcher 3 is a great game, so I kind of wanted to show it off a little bit. And bye-bye for now. Bye. Bye. Bye.